Hi, in this video we will install PostgreSQL on Ubuntu, configure it for local and remote connections, and load a sample database you can practice with. I will be using Ubuntu throughout this series, but if you are using Windows or Mac, please download the PostgreSQL installer for Windows and Mac OS using the link in the description below. So let's get started. I'm going to use the terminal to install Postgres. So open your terminal and follow along. First, let's make sure everything is up to date. Sudo apt update. It will update our system. Provide the password. Let's upgrade our system by running sudo apt upgrade. So my machine is already up to date and we are good to install PostgreSQL. So there are two ways to install PostgreSQL in your machine. First is to install using the apt repository by running sudo apt install PostgreSQL, but this might not always give you the latest version. If you want the newest release and the official PostgreSQL repository, first install the repository handler package. I will copy paste the command, and I will share all of these commands in the video description, so you can copy from there. It's already installed for me. Now we need to configure the setup script for Postgres repository. So I will copy paste the command, click enter to continue. This script automatically adds the repository for your Ubuntu version. Now install Postgres version 16 along with contrib package. It's already installed for me, so that's why it didn't take any long. Now we need to start our PostgreSQL by running sudo systemctl start PostgreSQL. Now we need to enable it as well. Just replace the start with enable. Now let's configure PostgreSQL for remote connections. By default, only connections from the local host are allowed. To enable all other computers to connect to PostgreSQL server, edit the Postgres config file by running this command. It will open the config file in Nano Editor. Now locate the line listen address. Here, this line. You might see that you have localhost written in here, so replace it with an asterisk and then save it. But as I am not editing this file, I will just exit. Now remember, this will allow all connections to make a request to your SQL server, and it's okay for learning and practice, but in production you will want stricter settings. Now configure PostgreSQL to use MD5 password authentication in the pbHBA config file. This is necessary if you want to enable remote connections. So just copy and paste this command. This ensures remote users must log in with a username and a password. Now we need to restart the PostgreSQL service so that all of these changes can take effect. So now that it's restarted, now we'll need to allow PostgreSQL traffic on port 5432. So run sudo ufw allow 5432/tcp. It will allow the port 5432 to allow PostgreSQL. Sorry, I forgot to place a space. Yeah, so it's skipping because I have already added these rules, so it might not be the same for you. Now log into our server, PostgreSQL server, using the Postgres user, the default user. Sudo u means user, Postgres PSQL. It's a CLI tool to connect to SQL server. So now we are inside our PostgreSQL server, and it's good time to change the password of our Postgres user. So you can change the password of a user by using alter user then the username. So for our case it's Postgres. And type password, and here type the password you want for your user and then click enter. As I have already changed this, I'm not going to do it now. And after you are done changing the password, quit from the PostgreSQL server. Now download the sample database from the link in the description. It will be a .tar file. So before we restore this database in our DVD rental database, let's install pgAdmin 4. It's going to make the restore process a lot easier. To install pgAdmin 4 on Ubuntu, first we need to add the public key of the repository. So run this command. So I have already added this key in our system, so I'm not going to overwrite it. So I will click N. Now it's telling me to enter a new file name, but I don't want to add it as a new key either. So I will click Ctrl C to cancel this command. And now we need to create a configuration file. So this will configure everything needed to update the pgAdmin when the new release comes and everything else. So run this command, and I am not going to do it as I have already installed it. Now it's time to install the application itself. So you can just run sudo apt install pgAdmin 4 desktop, because we are going to install the desktop version of the pgAdmin. pgAdmin also has a version to work with web, so we are not going to need it for this tutorial. So I'm just going to install the desktop version. So run this command and the pgAdmin will be installed in your system. Now let's open the pgAdmin so that we can create a database and restore our sample database. So I already have a database called DVD rental. So I'm going to create a new database. Also, if you are opening the pgAdmin for the first time, you might not have any database or server. I have a server, Postgres server, but it's easy to create. You will just have to right click on it and then create, and you will be able to create a server, and then you will the database will be there, and then right click on the database and then create database. Give it a name. I will give it a name, let's say SQL Basic, but you can name it whatever you want. I will also keep the default for the owner, our default user, Postgres, and then click save. Now we have our database, but if we check the schema, and under schema, if we check the tables, we can see that there's no table because we haven't yet restored our database. So we need to restore our database first, and then we'll be able to see all those tables in the database. So right click on the database and then click on restore. It says the custom of or tar. It's by default selected. And now we need to locate our downloaded file, the one we downloaded, the sample database, rental.tar. So locate the file. It should be dvd rental.tar, and click that file and then select. Now that we have the file, now it's time to assign a role. We'll also assign the role Postgres to this database, and then click restore. Started. The restore process is also completed. It's so easy to using pgAdmin to restore database. Now if we go to the schema again, and we can see that the table still shows nothing, but you just have to refresh it and it will be here. Now we can see all those tables here, the actor, category, film actor, and so more, the payment, rental, etc. Now select one of this table and select on script, and then select script. You can write the script as well, but we're just going to use the UI. So it has selected all the column names for us. I will just keep it as it is and then click on run. You can also use the key F5. Now we can see all the data inside the customer table. Congratulations, you have successfully installed PostgreSQL on Ubuntu connected to the PostgreSQL database server using PSQL. You have also installed pgAdmin 4 and loaded a simple database in your database. In our next video, we are going to learn how to query data. So see you in the next one.